Okay, thank you everybody for joining our KC Security Live show. I'm here with host Lynne Brown from On TV. Hi, Lynne.
Hi, welcome everybody to this wonderful Wednesday afternoon in Northern Ontario. I'm here with Daniel Laprade. Daniel is the owner and president of KC Security Services. And this afternoon, we are going to give folks an opportunity to do some live Facebook posting with us. So if you happen to have your computer or your phone open, go to KC Security Services on Facebook and follow along with us. And please post any questions that you have for our expert, Daniel, as we will be working through some of the things that security services offer for the next 30 minutes. So Daniel, welcome to On TV. I know you're an old hand at this.
Yes, yeah. I'm kind of used to being here. I think we want to apologize to everybody for the technical difficulties, but it's a work in progress, and we're learning. So, we will do the 30 minutes. So rest assured. So we want you to send in your questions. So
yeah, the technology gremlins have gotten all sorted.
Yes, it's looking good. I can see now. I can see us on the feed, so we can see the comments here as they come in. So make sure that you definitely send in your questions.
Now, KC Security Service is entering into its 5th year as a business, and it's located locally here in Sault Ste. Marie, but you also work in communities right across the north. So talk to me about some of the history of KC Security and where you are operating now in this in the communities.
Yeah, so when we started in 2015 in Sault Ste. Marie. We actually did expand not only here in Ontario, but we expanded into BC.
Wow.
We were out there for about a year and a half.
Right.
And then we retracted our operations there. It was just too much to manage both BC and Ontario, so we decided to shift it back to fully in Ontario, right? So now we've expanded, and we're doing it a lot more slowly in Elliott Lake. So we've got a branch there. We've got a few employees. So we're kind of focusing on Northern Ontario.
Wow.
That's our main focus now.
Well, thanks, Daniel. And now, speaking of employees, you are what I would consider more of a medium-sized business, because you have a substantial number of people working with KC Security. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have about just around 20 employees now.
Okay.
And we grew significantly over the last few years. 2017, 2018, we were awarded some contracts. So the first year, it was just me and one or two other employees.
Yeah.
And my first employee, Carl, he's still with us, and he's been promoted up to operations manager. So
very nice.
We've had some people stay around for quite a while, right?
Yeah,
so it's been good, yeah.
And KC Security, just for people that may not know, was voted Sault Ste. Marie's favorite security firm for the 2nd year in a row. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. So coming up in January, it's your 5th year anniversary. So talk to me about some of the things that you do on a daily basis. What would your day look like, Daniel?
Well, for me, as an owner-operator, I actually work nights most of the time, still, after all these years. But I do like the night shifts. I am on the road mostly, in the field. I don't like to spend time in an office. I don't like it. We don't have a big fancy office. We share our office with the roofing company, which KC Roofing, Siding and Renovations, which is my parents' company.
Very nice.
So my day is mostly out on the road in the field. Obviously, I got to take care of administrative stuff too, meetings, meet with clients, deal with the employees now. At the beginning, it was 16 to 20-hour days some days for 7 days a week.
Right.
Now I can take the odd days off, right? But we still work quite a bit. So it is and it's a 24-hour job. We're on call, alarms, all the call-outs that we go to.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
I'm going to just pull this up too, because I lost it.
Yeah. Take a look at the Facebook.
Just in case I think we got some comments starting to come in. So, but yeah.
So when somebody would want to sign up KC Security to help them in their personal life in their home, so you would do both home and commercial, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we do both.
So what would somebody, if I wanted to sign up for KC Security at my home over the holidays, is that something that's a possibility? If I was going to be away, would I be able to contract to ask for patrol to go around and check my house for me? Yeah,
and it's good that you mentioned that, because we have a couple clients. We have some regular ones that are vacation patrol clients, and then we have some that call during the holidays or when they go away. And it could be, you could be gone for a week.
Right.
You could be gone for 6 months, and some insurance companies require it. So, we'll get them automatically because of that. And then some people, they just want to have that peace of mind, right? And it does
Sure.
give you that, peace of mind. You get a discount, and we can do all kinds of stuff like water your plants, collect your mail.
Right.
Not since I've had my company, but when I was working security before I had my own company, I remember even we had some people leave their mail that was mailed out every week. They had Christmas cards or whatever they had to do, so we would even go as far as to mail stuff out.
Okay.
So I mean, we can do quite a bit of stuff. We can't do their driveway, we can't do that kind of stuff or landscaping because we're security, but we do as much as we can within the scope of our insurance.
And so the point is to make your house look like somebody's there. Make it look lived in, right?
Right. So we got a few comments coming in so far. Rod says, any idea as to when you will be back up and running in Victoria? For anybody who doesn't know, Rod was our BC operations manager.
Hello, Rod.
Yes. We don't have any plans to start back up in the West Coast at this point.
At this time.
But
you're not ruling it out.
No, we're not ruling it out.
The West Coast
across
is kind
Canada
of a pretty
maybe
place
one
to
day.
be.
But yeah, we're focused on one area now. Michael Douglas, thanks for watching.
Hello, Michael Douglas.
Yeah, a good name, right?
Yeah.
And then Alyssa Holgate Grant, you made friends with the foxes in the Avery yard. Yes, one of our clients here, Avery Construction.
Yes, talk about that.
Yeah,
right.
we have. When I first started there, they had these foxes that would always come around, and I was like the fox whisperer. They follow me on my patrols.
The fox whisperer.
Yeah, they follow me on my patrols. So. So it's good people are tuning in. If anybody's got any questions, make sure you ask. So far, just
feel free to ask some questions. Yeah.
But,
so Daniel, talk to me about some of the things that you've seen in your travels out there. Has there been something that you've witnessed that you thought, holy smokes, I'm glad I was here to be able to be present for something like this, to share with the local police perhaps, or something that you've intervened on?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this 11 years. It'll be in January.
Wow.
I know it seems like forever, but
Yeah,
it also seems like yesterday.
You look about the same age as my oldest son.
Well, as Tim always says, I look like I'm 12. How can I have a company for 11 years? Or how can I be, in security for 11 years? But there's a lot of things that come to mind. I mean, between working here and working in BC. I try to think of the good things that we do for people. We often do get labeled, people have a stereotype with security, but we're there to help the public too, right? Like, just recently, like we were talking before we came on air, we had that snowstorm. I helped about 3 or 4 people in the last hour of my shift, just getting unstuck out of the driveway or pushing them off the side of the road, just pulling over, making sure everybody's safe, right? And just things like that, right? And one of our other drivers, actually it's our Vice President Nathan, right after the parade, the Santa Claus parade, somebody was stranded in all the traffic, their vehicle died.
Oh no.
And so he boosted the vehicle, him and one of the other guards, and the guy was so thankful. We got a Facebook message, which I posted on our page with his permission, but he was so very thankful that we took the time. Everybody else just driving on by,
Right.
and we took the time to help. So.
Well, that's why you got the favorite security firm award again.
I'd like to think so.
2 years running.
We try to help the community, right? We're community oriented. That's one of our core values. I like to go to events. I like to be out and things. Yes, we're not perfect, and nobody is, right? Not everybody may like us, and not everybody may agree with our style, but that's the way we try to operate as community focused company.
For sure.
And help people when we can.
Yeah, and I would think that when people see you coming, like for example, if someone's stranded on the road, like if I was a single female stranded on the road, I might be more afraid of someone approaching my car to give me a hand. But when you see KC Security, the label, the logo, and yourself or Nathan or one of the other guards that would come to help, I think that would help to put people at ease. Do you find that people are more at ease if you are present?
I do, and and for the general public, because a lot of them don't know, right? If you're unsure about, if a security guard's a security guard, just like you can for a police officer or anything else.
Sure.
You can ask to see our government-issued security license, right? We have to show you that.
Okay.
That is a requirement. Anybody in the public, and a lot of the public doesn't know this. In fact, some of the police don't even know this, but we have to show that, right? Just that's part of our requirement.
Okay.
So if you're unsure, you think somebody's, I don't know, maybe dressing up as,
Right.
security, and
Yeah,
it could happen,
yeah,
right?
for
There's
sure.
there's stories,
Yeah, there
we
is.
also carry our own ID badges with our photos on them and extra measures to make sure that, people can identify us. But yeah, no, we're there to help, so don't be afraid. And,
Okay.
if there's
Yeah.
ever a problem, and we always tell people this when we do our pumpkin patrol, Halloween,
Oh yes, the pumpkin control.
all
yeah.
these events, right? Like,
Yeah.
the kids, anybody has any concerns, they can come up to us, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the security guards themselves. Like, what would somebody have to do if they wanted to become employed by KC Security? What steps would they have to take?
Okay, so first of all, they'd have to have their Ontario security license, right? So
Ontario security license.
right, their Ontario
Okay.
security guard license for security. So if you don't have that, you'd have to take the course, right?
Okay.
Now we actually offer it. We have a partnership where we offer it online now, so you can do the course
Oh.
online at your own pace. It's 40 hours,
Okay.
right? And it's the same if you do it in classroom. And then you have to have your first aid too. But
First aid training.
right.
Okay.
So if you do that, you can either do it with the course in conjunction with that, or you can, if you already have that, you're fine, right? Those are the two things. Then you apply for your license, and then after that, you wait a few weeks or whatever it is.
Okay.
They run their checks, they do their thing, and then once you're licensed, that's when you can apply to actually work as security, right? You have to have that license. That's important.
And who issues the license?
The Ministry of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
The Ministry of
right.
Community Safety
Yeah, that's
and
the
Corrections.
ministry that governs us,
Okay.
which is under the private security branch.
Okay.
It's also the same ministry that governs the police, so through the provincial government. So.
All right. And so how much does that cost? Like, is there
The course, well, the online course is 119
Oh, that's reasonable.
plus tax, right? And then you're going to look at your $80 for the license,
Okay.
right? Which is good for 2 years. You got to renew it every 2 years.
And that goes to the ministry.
That's not our control, yeah. And then there's also first aid costs, whatever that costs for
Okay.
the course, right? And then every 2 years you have to renew your license, so it's $80.
Okay.
Yeah, and the guards are responsible for their license. Back in the day, it used to be the
Okay.
company owned the license, right?
Oh, is that right?
So any guard that works for us is also welcome to work for any other company.
I see.
Common misconception we deal with is a lot of the companies will say, no, you can't work for anybody else, right? Well, I have employees that work for the commissionaires or for G4S or
Yeah.
for other companies, right? I have no problem with that. We,
Right, yeah.
they each sign their confidentiality agreements, and we all get along. Not everybody chooses to work that way, but we try to work with whoever we can, right?
Right. And you mentioned the commissionaires. I just wanted to give a shout out to David Trussler, who happens to be my father. My dad was district manager of commissionaires for years and years here locally. So, hello, Dad.
Yes, very, very nice to to hear that. I didn't know that, so hi,
Yeah.
David.
That was a coincidence that we
Yeah,
sorted out. Yeah.
yeah, very, very nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, he did a great job.
Yeah, and he was telling me, that security, private security, is it's a rapidly growing business. Private security is dispatched globally to many, many different areas. Companies will hire them in places like South Africa or places where there's mining operations, Canadian mining operations. So what do you see as some of the global trends as we go forward with security?
Well, I think for our industry in Canada, and I'm sure in the U.S. and everywhere else, it's growing, right? I was always told like you'll never be out of work, right? At first I was like, well, where's the work? Because it was hard to, when you're breaking into the market. But we are growing. I mean, just in Ontario alone, I think when I last checked the ministry website, there was 77,000 licensed security guards in Ontario alone.
In Ontario,
right? And as opposed to 26,000 police officers in Ontario. So that just gives you the ratio of what we what we have, right, to complement. Like, you imagine if we didn't have any security, right? Like, and that's just Ontario. Each province, has lots of, they're all governed by their own ministries.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
There's some things that, I've watched over the 11 years, and
Yeah.
we are neglected from the governments. Like, we don't, like, we're the last they think about, right? Like, they don't update stuff until somebody's killed, or, in Ontario, it took a death before they instituted an act, for licensing and training and all
The
that.
death of a security officer?
No, a death of somebody because of
Because of that? Interaction?
because somebody wasn't trained properly. Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
And so the provinces are all on their own. I wish it was kind of like a federal type thing where it was all the same. so we can kind of be, uniform, right? Because
transitional.
Yeah, we got to have the
yeah.
training. We got to evolve with the times, and for what we're carrying, what we're training for, and a lot of people think we carry guns. That's not the case in Canada. I mean,
what do you carry?
We are allowed in Ontario. We're allowed to carry batons and handcuffs with the authorized training.
Okay.
As opposed to you go to another province, you might only be allowed handcuffs, like in BC, for example.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it just depends on where you are. And in fact, we can't even use the term security officer in Ontario. That's not allowed. It has to be security guard.
Oh, I see.
But yet you go to Alberta and it's fine, right? Security. So this is what I mean about
terminology and you'd like to see it a space for that to be a federal
kind of
thing,
like
so that
uniformity.
It's uniform. Yeah. Right.
So.
Well, that actually makes sense.
Because we're growing, right?
Right,
It's only growing more and more. We're taking on more duties. Like, I mean, when I first started, like the alarm response, right? When we go to alarms and stuff, that was just starting to kind of catch on. And, we do most of that now. We've taken most of that over from, so police don't have to deal with that.
Okay.
And, response, emergency response to things and, medical alarms and all this stuff. So, yeah, we're evolving, right?
Sure. So talk to me about some of the things that you have seen out there. Has there been a particularly challenging event that you've participated in, or something that's happened to you or one of your guards that you could share with us that was an opportunity for learning and growing as a company?
For my time with the company, I'm not thinking of something right off the top of my head. We've dealt with, we all deal with like certain situations where
something
people,
that I might think is stressful.
Yeah,
it's not
the
extraordinary.
People get in your face for no reason, too, and just chastise you, right, because you're wearing a uniform. And I mean, it's not just us that deal with that. Anybody in law enforcement, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can remember sometime last year, I was doing a patrol somewhere downtown here, and I was just trying to turn into a laneway, and this guy was walking by. And I guess he didn't like the fact that I was waiting for him to walk by. So I turned in the laneway and, I got out of the car to do my patrol, my thing, and he started screaming at me and yelling at me and verbally, assaulting me and just wouldn't stop. I had to call the police, right? Like I had to get him out of there because it's like, I'm trying to do my job. I didn't do anything wrong and you're just bothering me, right?
Yeah.
So that is one of the things sometimes that you deal with. Then you get people who come up and thank you.
Right.
Say, thank you for what you're doing. It's tough because the industry might be tainted from people, right? So, yeah.
Well, I can attest to a night that I was very thankful that Daniel was here, because I at one point was working nights here in this building and I was on my own, and the front door had not been locked, and so you were able to flag that and come in and make sure that I was okay. So I was always so happy to see Daniel.
Yes, and of course we take care of on TV and Sue online.
Superior Media,
Superior Media,
exactly. This whole building.
Yeah. So
talk about what are some of the things. Let's go through a checklist. So if a company wants to hire you to do like patrols for them, what are some of the things that you would do for that company?
Okay, so it depends what they're wanting, right? If they're wanting a mobile patrol or if they want a guard on site. But if they want a mobile patrol, usually we're going to see what do they want. Do they want their doors checked? Do they want us to walk around? Do they just want us to drive by and wave? Because there's different things that clients want, right? Yeah. We use a patrol program, right, where we scan the checkpoints and it proves the patrols, right? And it GPS timestamps everything for the client.
Okay.
That's how we track for the guards too. Right, to make sure that the job's being done properly. But I mean, we can be set up for anything, right?
Yeah.
Like we can be set up too that you're leaving this building at 11 o'clock at night. We can come and do a safe walk, right? To like your cars, right? Like some businesses do that, right?
Yes.
They want employees.
That's a good idea.
Safe walk or, so there's all kinds of different things, right?
Yeah, for sure. And what about seniors? Do you have any interactions with seniors? Are they starting to become more of a group that would be looking for security to support their life?
To a point, we're trying to push the medical response, right? Like so when they have their pendants or so
medical alerts.
Yeah. So what we do there in that case is we hold keys for their place.
Okay.
So we can let in the emergency services so they don't got to break down a door. We're not doing any medical attention or anything like that, right? It's just,
you have first aid in the event that you need to use it, but that's
right.
not your
That's right. We're just
mandate.
there to let them do their thing, but it gives them that time to, they don't have to deal with getting the door opened or.
Yeah, that'd be very reassuring. for a senior to have that as an option in their life.
Yes.
I can imagine that would be something
Yes.
they take great solace in.
Yeah. So we got some. Well, we got a comment from. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Horatio Swale.
Yeah.
He says there's no provincial mandate for training on cuffs or batons. I believe he's in Ontario.
Okay.
James Special Services. He's from James Special Services Inc. So shout
Okay.
out to that company.
And is that that's a James Special Services Inc. is a security firm?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. He says
Okay.
LOL. Yes. So and he's right though.
Hi,
I mean,
James.
there is no actual.
Horatio, sorry. Sorry.
He says there is no actual mandate in Ontario
Okay.
for baton and handcuff training, which there isn't. I mean, you
Okay.
got to have a training, but it doesn't. There's no mandate. Like in BC, there's a 24-hour course for handcuffs that's mandated by the
Gotcha.
provincial government.
Okay.
Here, there isn't. So
So it's part of the training, but it's not mandated. It's not legislated that that's something under the provincial body that regulates security guards.
right.
That's not something. Okay.
Okay, and we got Lyle Jordan, who is from
Okay.
Victoria, BC.
All right.
My question is, when you're deploying to a medical alarm, what are the regulations and guidelines that you respond to? What sort of training do your guards have to deal with acute or emergency medical situations? As a paid service, are your responders that respond to medical alarm licensed and authorized by the province to attend persons in medical distress?
Interesting.
Do you have insurance that allows you to provide care? When responding, do you have code 3 lights on the road?
Thank
So
you, Lyle.
yeah, lots of questions.
That's
And I
some
know
great
Lyle.
questions, Lyle.
He
Good.
runs Medics, which is like,
Okay.
Lyle, you might want to type that in there for me to explain it right. But it's
Yeah.
like a patient care, non-emergency
Okay.
event medical service type
Right.
thing.
It's a supporting. It's in the
Yeah.
supporting arena.
And he asked a lot of questions in there, which
Right.
I'll try to touch on. But we
Okay.
are not doing medical care. Remember I said
Right.
like that? We are not.
Yeah.
We are just there,
Yeah.
and we are insured to hold the keys to open the door.
Right.
So we are just there to meet the emergency services, right?
Okay.
So I
You're helping to facilitate.
that's right, because
this,
if
yeah.
we start providing any kind of care, it becomes a liability, right,
Gotcha.
for my company. So,
Okay.
so we're not. As for responding, no, we don't have code 3 lights. We can't.
Explain what code 3 lights are for people that may not know what that means.
Like right of way, so like a blue and red, like a police or
All right.
ambulance, right? We don't have right of way. We have amber and white lights. That's all we can use.
I gotcha. Okay.
We can turn them on while we're driving down the road, but
Okay.
nobody has to pull over.
Gotcha.
Right?
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
we are not right away, and that's so
Okay.
you just respond in the safest manner possible. as
Have you
quickly as
had to
can get
use
there.
them?
A few times for fire alarms and,
Yeah.
and whatnot, and
So
medicals,
it's- yeah,
but
it's
you know,
in
a lot
extreme
of
situations
yes,
they're there.
and a
Yeah.
lot of times like the police will be notified, so we may get an escort too, right?
Oh, cool.
Which is nice. So I tried to touch on most of those, Lyle. Sorry if I don't want to. We have about 8 minutes left, so I don't want to take too much time on
Yeah.
it. But
So
yeah,
you've answered that. You don't provide care. Your insurance doesn't allow for that.
no, we can't
That's
provide.
outside of
Now
the
that's right, and that's where we leave it to the professionals to do, right? So, and he would
Okay.
know more about that because that's his field,
Yeah.
right? I would
Okay.
never ever,
Well, that's
try
really
to,
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, it crosses into so many different things.
Well, and this is the thing you got to think about too, right? When you're responding to these things, and yeah, the guards will want to help, or we
Yeah.
want to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
But we got to let the the right
Okay.
people do the job, and we're just there to, like I said, act as a key holder. 'Cause
Right.
that's they may not
Yeah.
have family, right?
Yeah.
So their son or daughter is not there
Yeah.
in town, so we just act as a key holder,
Yeah.
and then we secure the place when they're gone. So.
Well, now speaking of securing your place,
Mm-hmm.
can we talk about what should homeowners do? They're going to go away for the weekend. They're going to take a trip down to Traverse City, and I'm going to have my house. I'm not going to be there. What should I do to make sure that my house is secure? What are some of the tricks that you might employ?
Okay, so yeah, so a lot of the basic stuff, even with, if you don't have a patrol, if you do have an alarm system, make sure that that's set.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how many people go
Sure.
away and they forget to set their alarm.
Yeah, well, these things, especially when you're leaving.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things going on in your mind that there's often things overlooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, so the other thing too is make sure, some people use timers on their lights.
Right, timers, yep.
Outside lights or inside lights.
And what about your windows? Are there things that you could do to
Now, Tim and I
particularly-
discussed that on one of my morning segments
Yeah.
months ago about what, do you leave the blinds open or closed, right? And I was like, well, it's one of those things that I prefer them closed.
Yeah.
But some people prefer them where they're open a bit, but you can't see in, right?
Okay.
Just so it looks like somebody's there.
Yeah.
But I would say that, you want to try and make it look like it's lived in. So if it's winter,
Right.
it's snowing, you want somebody, shoveling or making footprints, or
Okay.
your mail, you don't want your mail piling
Okay.
up. I mean, that hasn't been
Yeah.
a problem with lately because,
Yeah.
it wasn't getting delivered.
That's such a good
But-
point about the footprints.
But yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so
If you don't see the tracks in the snow, then people can surmise that you are not there,
they think that, hey,
and they're going to
geez.
make some tracks to your door.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just touch quickly on this. Lyle says, Medics is a first aid and industrial paramedical services in BC. Not a
wow.
provincial service, but great answer, buddy. Love you and KC Security.
We love KC Security too.
Yes, thanks,
Well, thank
Lyle.
you, Lyle.
And Lyle does great work. I know that
Yeah.
firsthand from when I was out there. And keep up the great work, Lyle. You're doing a good job, and congratulations on your expansion too for traffic control, because he's doing that too now.
Wow.
And then Horatio, who says that this is not his real name, by the
Yeah.
way, says, I have another question. Do all your guards carry batons, cuffs, or do you only authorize some? Yes, we only authorize the individuals that have the training for it, for
Okay.
use of force. And not everybody wears them, not everybody or carries them, not everybody wants to either, right?
Sure.
So,
Sure.
so the ones that do, they are allowed, whereas some companies may restrict you completely, right? They may not have a hands-off policy.
Right.
We don't have a hands-off policy. If we have to deal with something, we will.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you're going to try to deal with it verbally, right? You're going to, like in 11 years, I haven't had to do that too many times.
Right.
A lot of
yeah.
times you can talk and de-escalate the situation with people, right?
And that's where training comes in for sure.
That's right.
Absolutely. To be able to work hand in hand with other community partners to support someone.
Yeah, oh,
that's
absolutely.
Maybe in distress, because not necessarily a medical distress that is obvious through a cut or something, but an emotionally distressful situation that can come upon a person. And I can imagine that when they see somebody in a uniform, that could potentially escalate it because they're starting to feel fearful. But with some training, and Daniel, you're one of those people that's very personable. So I
you.
can imagine that if you're in a situation like that, you'd be able to reassure someone that help is coming. And
Yeah, because somebody might,
that deep breath
they
with
might
them.
just be, having a panic attack or something, or they're stressed out, or
Yeah.
and they might feel that we're a threat, right? So
Yeah, for
we
sure.
gotta make sure that we're there to, kind of let them know, okay, we're here to help, right?
Yeah.
Depending on whatever the situation is, right?
Right.
Like if they, and if we've had people. Over the years, I've had people come up to the vehicle or come up to me, and, they need help. They need us to call the police, or something's
Yeah.
happened, or
Yeah.
that's what we're there for,
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
can be, right? We want people to know that about this industry, right? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I speak for a lot of the, the security guards and companies, across Canada that,
Mm-hmm.
we're all in this for the good, right? Like, we want to be able to help. So.
Exactly. So, is there anything else that we could maybe add to the conversation that we
Yeah,
addressed
because
right
we've
now?
went through. We're almost done here, right?
Yeah,
It
it's
goes
gone by
fast.
so fast, everybody, and thank you so much to everyone out there for your questions today and for following along with us. This has been a wonderful experience to do this,
Yeah, yeah.
and we really appreciate that. So Horatio, I'm wondering what Horatio's real name is. The only Horatio
what that
that I
reminds
remember is
me of is-
Horatio Sands from, remember him from Saturday Night Live?
Yes, and the one from CSI too.
Oh, right,
Yes.
of course.
But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch on in the last minute.
Well,
or-
I would like to congratulate you personally, Daniel, because you're a heck of a nice guy, and you're from the Sioux. It's a fantastic thing that you've taken this idea that you've had and you've run with it. And 11 years, that's quite a legacy that you're building there. And I know that's part of your family, the KC family of businesses, KC Roofing,
Yes.
KC Security.
Yeah, I
so-
built on there. And quickly, before we end, for anybody
Yeah.
wondering, the K and C stands for Kim and Claude, which is my parents' names. That's where it comes from. So
Yeah.
I built off that brand, right? We have the same colors. I'm
Yeah.
involved in their company too, but yeah,
Right.
we're building the family legacy that way. So
Absolutely. And you're coming up on 5 years. KC Security is coming up on 5 years in January. So I would encourage people out there to just, shoot a little note. Go to Facebook, go to the KC Security, like them on Facebook,
Yep.
and shoot them a little note and congratulate them on such an accomplishment. in our community. And like you said, you've expanded to Elliott Lake. Do you have any more plans for expansion going forward?
I think we're just Northern Ontario, but
Yeah.
I think we're going to focus on Elliott Lake and maybe Wawa that way. A little
Wawa,
bit.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Okay, and I know that you're hiring too, right?
Yes.
Like you're looking for some people right
and
now.
we're hiring part-time, so send us your resume or get in touch with us.
Yeah, get a hold of Daniel. He's an easy person to talk to, as you can see here. And again, thanks to everyone out there for watching on TV. And my guest here, KC Securities, Daniel Laprade from, he's the chief cook and bottle washer.
Yes, all the hats.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thank you.